All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Sport webinar. Today's date is November 5th, 2018. This is a Monday night webinar, and the title of tonight's webinar is Mid-Bands, Phantoms, Minimum Criteria Trades, and the Conditions. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right, if not, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, what I'm going to do here tonight, and this is a little bit more unconventional, but what I want to show is the effectiveness or the non-effectiveness of certain type of trades. Okay, mid-bands, phantoms, minimum criteria trades. Okay, and the conditions it takes to take them. Now, what I did at the top of the screen, I've got a bunch of red boxes. I've got some yellow boxes for like mid-band, and I've got some green boxes for the retracement trades that are the long trades. These are the short trades, and this is more your mid-band trades, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to simply look at this chart with no prices on it, and then we're going to see if these trades work out, okay? First off, we're going to do the phantom trade. That's one of my favorites. It's a deeper retracement trade. I like it quite well, okay? So we're going to do it. So let's see here. If I was doing the phantom trade, starting from the left of the screen, does anybody know where I would put my box? Anybody? Because the conditions that have to be for a phantom trade is your phantom short is always going to be between line 6 and line 7. Okay? Line 6 and line 7 for a rollover short. All right, so obviously what we would do is we would bring this little box over here like this. And let me size this box a little bit because I didn't quite size them, but that's 6 to 7 right there, right? Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just copy this one, and we're going to paste it, and paste it, and paste it, and keep pasting it because we need several of them because we don't know where the prices are, right? I think that might be enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these where they belong then, right? Now, we're not going to worry about this, but I've got to have some of this room on this chart. So there's our first one. That would be our second one, right? Whoop, sorry about that. And then you would have another one here. See, just from line, basically line 6 to line 7. Let's just go ahead and go down here since it's got some room on it. And then we're going to do one more here. All right. And, well, after that, we're going to have to do a different way, aren't we? So we're going to pull in. I was hoping this was going to work here. We'll find out here. Let's see if I can get this to actually work. Okay, so let's just get these out of the way now, except for the top one. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to show you something that I feel really actually works quite well, okay? All right, so right now, this is where we would be, right? We would be actually right here in this little area, and we'd be here in this little area here, and everybody can see that, right? Okay, so if you were to take a phantom trade and you were looking for a short, and by the way, here'd be another one right here because that did turn magenta. May not work out, but I don't care. It's a phantom trade. All right, where's the phantom trade on this one here? Anybody? Well, the phantom trade would be, where did my little green boxes go? May have to make them again. Let's find out here. Did I lose them? No, there they are. Let's go ahead and bring one of these over, and then we'll copy it. All right. Now, this is going to be a little bit different tonight because I want you to see how we actually call these phantom trades in the room. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this one. And I'm going to paste it and paste it and paste it and paste it. We'll even do another couple. All right, so let's get these out of the way. Whoop. Don't want to change the size of it. Did I do more than that? Yeah, there's one more. All right, so then if you were looking at this chart, do you know the reason this is doing this, by the way, is because there's no prices on the chart. And unfortunately, the way Ninja sees this, there's no prices on the chart. So that's why it's doing that. But let's just see what it does here. Little phantom trade. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a little bit closer. Line 1 to 2, line 1 to 2, like so. And then line 1 to 2 again. And then that's all we're going to have on this one because it turns magenta. So you wouldn't go any further than that, right? All right, so this is just on the first part of our chart right here. Now let's go over here. And this turned green, so we'd start, obviously doing our phantom as it stair steps up and everything, right? Let's go ahead and get some more copies of that. This may seem a little bit tedious as far as that goes, but I want to show you how this trade actually does work. And a lot of our people do this. And the reason I chose this chart with nothing on it was to be fair about it. There's another one right there. Everybody see what I'm doing, right? I'm just going between line 1 and 2 on my phantom longs and between 6 and 7 on my phantom shorts. Okay. That would get it up there again. And here pretty soon we're going to put bars on this chart and let's see where the trades actually worked out. That's pretty much straight across. There's another one right there. See if we can copy this again. We'll paste it. By the way, this is going to get automated, so this is going to do this for you. That's as far as we're going to go right now. All right? Now let's just look real quick and let's see if any of these actually did have the bars show up inside them. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change this template to this template. Hopefully I don't lose my boxes. Or we'll start this webinar over. Hopefully not. All right, let's see here. Let's see what we get. All right, now we're going to have to go back, obviously. There we go. All right, where did we start here? Anybody? Phantom. See it? Phantom didn't work, but it might have scalped you something. Phantom. Phantom, at least a scalp. Phantom again, except it would be down in here now. This one you might have boxed. I'm not going to call that a phantom. Let's see if we get the phantom. There's your phantom. Any questions on why that's a good trade? None, really, right? So let's count the coin just real quick and let's see what a person could have made if they did them. All right, so you're basically doing the lightning down, lightning down, lightning down. Takes out the swing, you'd be out. This was a phantom right here. You would have shorted line 7. You got all the way down almost to mid-band. So that is a 10-tick trade, by the way. And this was a 10-tick trade. This one was not a 10 tick trade. So if you did this one here and it didn't work out, then it just didn't work out. And then Phantom right there worked. Okay, what do y'all think about that? Pretty cool? You want to try it some more? Let's just see. Let me go with, let's go with that chart again. Bear with me a second. I'm going to go with Russell again. And we're going to go past this 1453. This was Friday afternoon, by the way. And what we're going to do is go to, let's see, Friday afternoon. Let's see, that was 1453. And we're going to try some more phantoms. How's that? All right, so let's look at it and see. I did the same thing to this chart. All right, so where would our phantom be? Anybody? Well, this we already did. See, we went to 1453, so we've already done this right here. Now let's do it over here, and what we're going to do is we got to make some boxes. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a little box, and we'll change that to red. Now keep in mind, if this even seems a little slow, because I'm doing this literally on purpose so that we can all get some really, really decent trades, I just want to do it on a blank chart so that I don't even know where the prices are. Okay, so that's a red phantom because the mid-band. So let's copy it, and let's paste it, and paste it, and paste it, and paste it, and we'll paste it one more time. All right, so phantom, 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 phantom. Okay, everybody see that? All right, let's see if any of these worked out, phantom trades. So we're going to put template back on. We'll load Object Trader MTF, and we're going to go back to this time period starting of 11/5. Bear with it a second. Now keep in mind this goes all the way to the end of the day, obviously, so lo and behold, look at that. That's the same box, by the way. We drew it right here, but that's where it would have fired. Everybody see that? Now, let me ask you a quick question. If that's the case, then wouldn't you think it would be a good idea to probably take some phantoms? You want to see if it works even further? Let's go with the same template that we had a minute ago. And this one I'm calling Phantoms because it does away with the little prices and everything. To be fair, we're going to see if phantoms still work. Only if you like making coin, Lewis says. All right, so let's do a little copying of boxes again, except we're going to change the color of it. So we're going to copy it and paste it, but we're going to change it to a green one because we're now looking at green phantoms, right? Long. So let's see if we get another phantom. Forest green, we'll do it with 5 times. Apply, and then copy, copy, and paste it several times. All right, so let's see. We got our phantom here, didn't we? I mean, we said we did, and it worked out, right? So now we're here. Let's see if the phantom works again. So you're green right in through here, and you kind of popped up. So this would be probably your first phantom, more than likely, if it was to hit it at all. And then here, and then here, and then pretty much there, And that's about as far as we go, isn't it? And pretty much right across there. All right. Now let's see if we actually have enough price to get down there. If we don't, then let's run the thing forward. All right, so we've got our phantom set up. And what I'm going to do is put some bars on it. Let it load. Did we lose our boxes? Don't tell me we lost our boxes. You little rat. Now, why would we have lost our boxes on that? Well, let's just put them back in. This webinar is more about teaching about some of these trades. If we have to even do it, more to where it's, another webinar for the next type of trade, then so be it. Because I've got a lot of, people that are really wanting to see some good trades on charts. And the way to do that is to actually do it like this, to where we don't see the prices. And now we don't see the prices because we don't know where it goes after this. So we don't have a phantom yet, do we? So we know it didn't go here, right? So let's change this to green. And we'll change it to about a 5. And then we're going to just move it instead, because we don't have to copy it, because we know it's already up here, right? So let's fire it up and see if a phantom sets up. Now, I'm not going to worry about other trades right now. I'm only worried about this phantom for right now in this part of the webinar. There it was, right on top of line 2. So let me ask you a quick question. Was that a phantom right there? Yeah, it hit line 2. Anything that touches line 2 to line 1 is a phantom on a long. Did that trade work out? Well, let's see how much it worked out. Just fast forward it and see. Let's just say we're still in it. We got to let it kind of not take us out, but we need a higher low. Higher low so far. See it? That was another one, by the way. It just barely touched line 2, though. Let's bring our little box over. That one wasn't quite one, but that one sure was right there. So you're still in this one, right? Put your stop. Put your stop under mid-band or this swing right here. Didn't close. See it? Now put your stop right here where the wick is. And bazinga. Okay? So, with what's just been shown on the chart, what does anybody think about? More than likely, oh, Richard, on your question, I'm not really talking as much about the stops right this very moment, but I'll go over those too, okay? Because you can clearly see that those phantoms really absolutely, positively worked, okay? And a phantom trade, by the way, is one of those great trades that you can just pretty much take to the bank. It's a deeper retracement trade. A long one always has to have a mid-band that's either lime green, which is an uptrend, blue, which is a session high, or yellow is more sideways, okay? And the same thing on the short side. You have to go from magenta, which is a downtrend. If you get red, that's a session low. Your phantom is between line 6 and line 7, okay? Notice you even had another one right here. We didn't even count that one. Well, we might have. I'm not sure, because it did ratchet down. See, all you have to do to take another phantom is ratchet down below your previous low, and that one did. So that's a legitimate phantom right there, and that easily did 10 ticks too. And your stop, what you want to do is you want to actually get some coin under your belt. Okay, what we normally do, Richard, on your question, Now, in a case like this, I would have probably gone ahead and stopped because, see, you have a little thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. I would have put my stop just under mid-band. Okay. Now, if you held it for where you got in, you didn't feel any heat on your runner and it actually went up. Okay. Now, this is not counting, by the way, what we call the mid-band trades. Okay. There's some really good mid-band trades on here also. Matter of fact, there's a mid-band trade. I'll draw it and see if it hits it. I see one. Let's see here. It's already been there. It has not been here yet. See this little swing here? Identified swing on Lightning 3. I'd be looking for a trade right about in this area. And I'd be looking for a predictor, you know, to draw pretty close to it too. Yellow only line 1 and 2, right, Gary? No. Lewis, on your question, the phantom trades are an identified type of trade that has to meet certain criteria. Okay, I'm going to go over exactly what those were because I think everybody could see, even though we lost our boxes, that we did have very good phantom trades. See, this one didn't work out, but it definitely didn't. It didn't cost you any money as far as that goes, except on your runner. And could you have actually boxed that and taken the upswing? Sure, but that's in hindsight at the time. Okay, but notice that phantom trade was 10 ticks. This phantom trade was 10 ticks. This phantom trade was more than 10 ticks. And just use your lightning to stay in the trade too. Just draw your lightning and you'll see it. See your lightning, thrust down, retrace, thrust down, retrace, thrust down. Each time it makes an identified swing, you put your stop at the swing. And it finally did take you out right through here. Right when it took out that swing, right here to the left. But it did do a phantom, which worked out. This did a phantom that worked out. This did a phantom that might have made you a little bit, but didn't work out that much. Not a phantom trade. It didn't quite get there, but this one did. Okay. This one came really, really close, and I still like this particular trade, but I'm not going to teach it like it's a phantom trade because it's not a phantom trade unless it at least touches line 2. Okay. But that does not mean that you can't box it in when you see this high or low right here on this bar. Box it in like so, and you could take that trade. Matter of fact, if that was in our room, we'd be calling that trade. But one thing, Robert, on your question too, we like to actually get in trades where we don't have much of a stop loss to begin with. I try to call trades in that room where we don't feel heat, you know, and we do it with this software that we've got. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go into where we're at now. Bear with me a second. Let's see if we get some other kinds of trades. Let's look at our chart. This was a box-in trade right here that, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we called that in the room this morning, didn't we? That was 8:30. Didn't we call that trade in the room this morning? I'm almost positive we did, because that was actually a deep bar probe and we boxed it in. And it went up pretty nicely, as a matter of fact, didn't it, everyone? Now, anytime you're looking at your charts, you've also got to realize, you know, always look at your charts thinking that you could easily go the other direction too, okay? You've got to know where your support levels are on your charts, because if those do get taken out, you're going to want to be looking for the other side of the trade, right? It's just pretty important, okay? So the way I see it personally on this one right now is right through here is my support. See it right here? But if this was to come back and give me another shot at getting a decent trade on this, I'd probably take a shot at it. Now let's see if we can get what we call the minimum criteria trade, if you happen to miss the phantom trade or something like that was just called. Okay. Now notice that's heading up pretty nicely. By the way, we're not using Object Trader as much. I wanted to show you first off how you can see these trades in real time, and you can go to your charts and put those boxes on it and you're going to see these trades. You know, could you do the same thing with mid bands? I like the deeper retracements as far as doing a small box. But let's say, for instance, that you were looking at like a mid-band, to give an example. Mid-band, what you're looking at on a mid-band type trade, let me get rid of these lines. Okay, on a mid-band type trade, what you're really looking at more than anything, you're looking at first time into mid-band after a trend change. See how this was a short mid-band? This then went long mid-band. This is your first time into mid-band after a trend change. That is a classic trade that we teach. They should put it on Wikipedia because that's a classic trade that we teach and take. Okay, this is your second one right here to mid-band. It got about 10 ticks. Okay, but this is about an 80-some-odd% probability trade to be profitable, and this is getting closer to 50 or 55. Okay, now if they ratchet up like they did, we do take this one. That's a mid-band trade. Okay, so could a person take that and take some coin, stop out, get in the Phantom, get another trade? Sure. Sure thing. All right, let's look at this and see what we've got here. All right, let's look at a Phantom again. I'll draw a box. This is our Phantom area where we're at right now. And by the way, one thing you can also do with a Phantom, if you ever run into where a Phantom goes against you, for instance, if you were to look for this Phantom here, this is actually a support level right here to the left. See it right there? And this little Phantom area right here is a sweet spot, but it's not the first Phantom. It is the first Phantom after a ratchet, though. So we would legitimately take this trade. All right. Now, keep in mind when you take a Phantom trade, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your stop somewhere in this little shadowed area right here. I will usually put mine at line 0 on a long and line 8 on a short. But then I move them quickly if they go my direction. You don't want to leave it at 0 after you've already gotten 10 or 12 ticks. That would be dumb. Okay. But when you first take it, it could come down deeper, still hold this and still bounce. You see that all the time. Okay. As long as this little shadowed area is stair-stepping up, you're going to want to be looking at long Phantoms. If it's stair-stepping down and you've got this red mid-band or magenta mid-band or even the rose-colored mid-band, you are looking for shorts. Okay. Let's see. On which one, Louis? From short band to yellow band. Let's look. Did it go to a yellow band? Not on this one yet. You mean over here? Like over in this area right here? This one over here? Well, remember, we already got this Phantom trade right here. There was a good little mid-band trade that you could actually trade right through here, and we teach this trade too, obviously. Here's an example, though. Let's say that you had seen this ratchet up, and you put your Phantom right here, like so, and it did bounce off of it, so you're long. Could you actually short it if it actually takes out the little box? Yeah. You only know this one in hindsight, obviously, but when they break this this Phantom area right here, they usually, as a rule, will change. Well, not as a rule, they will change to the red mid-band or magenta mid-band to begin with. So, if you get on the wrong side of a Phantom and you feel like, let's say, for instance, it gives you 6 or 8 ticks and then all of a sudden it's right back in your face. Well, this would have stopped you out anyway, just right under here. You wouldn't have shorted it yet. Okay. Because you were looking at longs from line 2. A yellow band is a long band in terms of Phantom. Absolutely. Now, keep in mind that, well, this was your Phantom right here. See where it touched line 2? That's a Phantom trade right there. Did that trade actually work out? Well, I've got traders that'll take that with 5 contracts, and that's actually about a $250 trade. Now, would I take that as a rule with 5? Not normally. 2 would still be a $100 bill, though, and that's fine. I mean, $100 bill is a $100 bill. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Can't wait till we get Auto Phantom. I know Auto Phantom will actually just literally keep stair-stepping these boxes is what it'll do to where it finally nails the trade. And would you be able to put it on if it happened to break it and head down? Yeah, you could do that too if you want to. But keep in mind that as a rule, I personally like to stick with the trend. If I'm stair-stepping up on these bands, I'm not looking for shorts yet. Now, where would we be looking for shorts if we started breaking down? Let's see if we can go over here to the right. Let's see what's going on in real time. All right, let's see here. If this was to come into this area right here and bounce, would this be a phantom trade? Yes or no? Would it be? Now, keep in mind, this is right after the open of the market too. So you do have to, be careful because a lot of times you can box in and you'll find that you can get some pretty good shorts at the open too, especially after a monster run like we got on Russell this morning. Okay. But what I would be doing in a case like this is basically we called this trade in the room this morning right here. It stair-stepped up. And if I remember right, Charles actually told everybody to take it off at line 6, close of the bar, and we were out right here. Does everybody remember that this morning? Because I'm almost positive that's what he said. I called the trade in right here, and he called the trade out right here because we used line 6. It was perfectly stair-stepping with line 6, so we put a tight stop. But even if you use mid-band, you got stopped out. You would need the mid-band to change colors. Absolutely, Richard, on your question. To give an example, if this was to change directions at all, you would get a red background, you would get a magenta or red colored mid-band, and then you would be looking for shorts. Okay? Now, if you were to get that, then obviously, instead of looking for longs, you would be looking for the retracement on the short side instead, right? Let's fast forward this. Let me see if anybody can guess the next trade. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to fast forward it and get a thrust first. Okay, what about it now? Magenta mid-band. What trade are we looking for, Viper team? Anybody? What trade says the team on here? Do we chase trades? Now, could we have gotten this trade short? Absolutely you could, because we box in at mid-bands and stuff, and we watch for red stealths and things. But we also wait for retracements to come to us, okay? So let's look. Thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace. All right, so mid-band is right up here. That's a beautiful swing that it just absolutely just took out, okay? And if you remember right, in the room, we actually had lines drawn on this chart, and we called this trade. I'm just now remembering this little puppy. Anybody remember it? We were about 10 minutes into the open, and they gave that monster move down. Did we get sucked into it right off? Nope. Nope. Now, is this a phantom trade? Yes or no on the long side? I'm trying a trick question. No, it's not a long trade at all. Okay? Now, the way we trade, remember, we like retracement trades. Let's go ahead and bring this down. There's our mid-band. Watch for predictors. There's a support level, by the way, right there. Let me get rid of these. Don't really need that. And let's watch and see if we can't get the trade based on exactly watching our indicators. Okay? So, we missed a thrust. What are we waiting on? We're waiting on a pullback. Just hit support level so far. Okay? Now, if you like to chase trades, which I don't personally, if you miss a trade, you can go ahead and chase it if you want, but here's the way I would do it. Let me show you a little box that I like to draw. And you can use Object Trader for this. This is a little box that you could do. You see when it actually breaks the phantom area, you could have shorted it, right? You could also draw these little bitty boxes right here, and don't let them go back against you, just like I teach. See how that one never went back against you? And this one never went back against you here either. See, like so. You can take those, okay? But if you do take them, realize that they're more than likely going to come back to your cost, at least on a pullback. Now, where's our trade? Anybody? Mid-band. Why do we look for mid-bands on trades? Anybody? First time into mid-band after a trend change is about an 85% probability to trade. Okay? So let's just draw our little box and see if we can get a trade. Little swing right here to the left. And this little sweet spot right here at mid-band. Let's see if we can get a trade. By the way, I know we got this trade this morning because I called it. Okay? But I'm doing it just like we did in the room this morning. I'm drawing it as the bars are actually shaping up. See your mid-band right there? Is that a legitimate entry for a short trade? Yes or no? Mid-band trade. We're going to be teaching. Everybody get how we did the phantoms already, though? Now, that was actually an entry if you wanted it, but that's not deep enough for me yet. Let's see. How do you decide to box it in or take it first up bar, trade phantom, and minimum retrace? Well, on your question on that, what we like to do is actually, if they get to these predictors, to give an example, like this little trade here, if you would have taken this trade, you probably got 10 ticks or pretty close to it. But your best trade is going to be at or above mid-band, or even a phantom. Where's your phantom on this trade right here? If this was decide to go up higher, well, it's right here. As we speak right now, that's your phantom area. And I would change this box to red because that's the color you're looking for. That's close enough. All right, but also a mid-band trade, right? And we like to definitely get trades at mid-bands because those will pay out really nicely. Okay, drawing your charts. Got a little swing right across here, like so, right there. And you got another swing right there. So this is a sweet spot on Russell right here that they haven't checked yet. Now, could it go higher than that? Absolutely it could. But that is a first time in the mid-band after a trend change, which is about an 85% probability trade. You want to just try it like we did in the room this morning? We'll put Object Trader on. Got to go a little bit higher. And we're going to get it if it gets inside that box. Just inside the box. And then back out. That's good enough for me. See it? Right there where your resistance was to the left. That's where we had that line drawn in that room this morning, by the way. Does everybody see why it was drawn right there? Because that was a perfect spot for it to go back and retrace to. Okay, now that's a mid-band trade right there, by the way, which turned out to be a very, very good trade. And what you want to do is you want to ride your runner, okay, put your target like down at the bottom, right there where that swing is. Put your stop just above where you got in. See, we're not even risking 2 ticks, literally, with the close of a bar, by the way. And if it starts stair-stepping up at all and it doesn't take out the low, guess what? You can get out and go back in. Because if it's going to head down, it would take out that low with a vengeance. Okay. Now, what I like to personally do a lot of times is turn this little jewel on called PM. And if this happens to change this meter to green, I'll get out of the trade and look for another entry. And then we'll just move a target out of the way. Definitely not a bad way to draw on your charts, because we had that line drawn in the room ahead of time this morning. Matter of fact, Charles, I think, missed the first line that I drew, but he got in the second when it came up there and kissed and rolled. He was thinking it might have gone a little bit higher, you know, and sometimes they will go higher, and you got to just keep boxing in until you get the trade. Where did your 1551.30 line come from, Davin? 1551.30 is just this little micro swing right here to the left. See, it kissed it already. See that? It's amazing. No matter what size charts you actually draw, you can usually see them come and kiss your swings. A 4-range chart is real easy to get them to kiss those minor swings and get you some very, very good trades. Now, if you were going to trade this trade, the best way to trade this trade right here would be to simply put your stop above the swing, okay? Give it a little bit of wiggle room, and if it comes back up to mid-band again and rolls over, you get some more contracts. Isn't one kiss good enough? Well, that was a kiss right there. That was actually a kiss of that swing right here. See that little micro swing where it kissed it? But this one kissed this one to the left. See, when they haven't checked the swing, they'll always check it no matter how minor it is, unless they just blow through it. Okay, see, we just got, well, we should have gotten stopped. I had my power meter on. Did I turn it on? Might not have turned it on. If you had missed the trade that we talked about this morning, does everybody see how to get in another trade on here? Can you clearly see that even if you're a conservative trader, let's just kill this trade. I'm going to just show you something here. Even a conservative trader, you got to swing right across here. It's now a lightning 3. So if it got up anywhere in there, I would actually pretty much do that. See there where it just got a lower high? Okay. Now, if it took out this little swing, like right across here, you could actually put sniper on and add 1 or 2. Do a touch plus like 2. And that'd be like boxing it in also. Okay? And I'd put my stop just above that swing just in case. Just a close above it. You usually want to fade it, you know, a couple of ticks or so. Simply because otherwise they'll wick you out. So far it's doing okay. Now, if this was to actually start heading way up above here, obviously we're going to get a phantom trade. But if it even kisses this line right here, you don't really have to worry about this trade until it takes this out, comes back and kisses it and takes off to the upside. That's your identified swing that would keep you on the right side of the trade. Let's see if it holds it. And we're going to turn on sniper. And I'm going to go ahead and even move my sniper. See where I'm just kind of boxing it in at mid-band? And if it goes up a little higher, I'm going to even box it a little bit more. Now, if this stops me out, I could go ahead and put my stop just a little bit above here. Okay? Now I've moved my sniper like right here. Like so. Exit on close, is it going to get us? How many times you see this happen? We had that line drawn in the room this morning as a hard area that they weren't going to take out unless they were going to take this thing back up. There we go. We just got in a total of 3. Okay? Now, if you were in the room this morning, you remember we had this thing drawn exactly like it was drawn just now. Okay? It was drawn exactly like that. But how do we know ahead of time to do that? Because we look to the left to trade the right. We're constantly looking at the swing levels. We're looking at mid-band. We're looking at minor swing levels. We're looking at the Lightning 3 swing levels. What would it take to change the trend on this chart right now? It would have to take out that Lightning 3 swing. What you'd probably want to do would be to put one of your targets right here. Maybe even draw a trend line. See the little trend line right there? Something like that. See it? Because if it takes it out, guess what? You've still got 2 contracts left. Now let's talk about our minimum criteria trade tonight. The minimum criteria trade on a short is a break of line 2 and a break of stealth. All right, let me just get these out of the way so we can check on a minimum criteria trade. So I'm going to draw a box to where we're going to look for a minimum criteria trade, and then we're going to move it in real time. And we're looking for what? Longs? Nope, we're looking for shorts. So let's get it to a red. And I'm going to just keep moving this box as this thing craters down. Okay? Because if you miss a trade, you pretty much got to either take the break of support, which is right over here, like so, or you stand down until it actually gets a minimum criteria trade. Minimum criteria is not as good as mid-band, but a minimum criteria trade will usually keep you out if it's going to mid-band anyway. Would you use a region box, Chuck, on your question? Yeah, you could. Matter of fact, let's just watch it in real time and let's just see. Let me speed this up a little bit because this is pretty slow. Even if we don't get over all the trades today, I want everybody to understand the phantom trade, the minimum criteria trade. Those are very, very important trades. Okay, where's minimum criteria now? Anybody? Between line 2 and stealth. Don't have it yet. We've got to close above line 2 and stealth for a minimum criteria trade. Is it closed above it? Let's see. That's above. Check it real quick. It was, wasn't it? See there? Let me get this out of the way. Oh, come on, box, move. Everybody see that minimum criteria trade? Talked about it ahead of time. You just have to watch for it to break above stealth with a close and close above line 2. And that clearly closed above line 2. So would that have been another entry, yes or no? Yes. Where's another one? Well, line 2 to stealth. We'll just keep the lines moving. And I'll get rid of this one. And you tell me where the next one is. Okay, stealth is right here. Line 2 is right here. Stealth is right here. Line 2 is right here. Stealth is right here. Stealth is right here. Do we have a minimum criteria trade yet? Anybody? No, not yet. But we did have up here. Where's minimum criteria trade? Got to close above that line, right? Minimum criteria not met, right? Minimum criteria is here and here. Minimum criteria not met. But notice if you got in way up here where I called it, there's a minimum criteria, by the way. Everybody see that? Bingo. Why was that minimum criteria? Anybody? Because it closed above stealth. Oh, it didn't close above line 2. Pardon me. That is not a minimum criteria. I apologize for that. That was one that rolled over nicely, but it's not a minimum criteria trade. Let's go down here again. Now keep in mind, you're still short from way up here where I called it to begin with, so you're not out of this trade yet. Minimum criteria, it's got to close above line 2 and stealth. Stealth is here. Line 2 is there. Line 2 is here. Stealth is there. By the way, on the downside, if it closes above line 2, it will be above stealth. Just for your heads up on that. So we'll just follow line 2 instead, so it'll be easier, because you can clearly see stealth's below line 2. Got to close above line 2 and close back down below it. Line 2. Still line 2. Line 2 dropped. Line 2 dropped. No, it's still about the same. Wow. Anybody remember that trade, by the way? That was a monster. So where was the minimum criteria trade on that chart? Well, you've only had one so far, and you sometimes don't get a bunch of them. Believe me. You know, this trade just headed down like a big dog. But where was your entry on this chart? Well, you had three actually. You had this one here. We drew this in the room. You had this one here in the room. This was the minimum criteria trade, and it is not closed above line 2 cents. Everybody see that? Now, could you still take this trade based on little breaks and things, or when it kissed line 2, or maybe turn stealth red again? And the answer is yes on that. Okay? And we've even got an app for that. It's called the Stealth Trader. See where it says stealth here? Now, of course, our stop would obviously be like at mid-band or line 2. What a monster. Look at that thing go. How many of you got this trade this morning? It was called live in the room. Always look to the left to trade the right. Everybody got it, I think. It was a pretty cool trade, by the way. Okay, so does everybody understand a minimum criteria trade? Now, when minimum criteria trades will work out the absolute best is when you've had a break of a good support area and they're really starting to stair step down. You notice, for instance, that this one broke the previous lows and gave you that trade right there. That was your minimum criteria trade this morning in the room. Now, was that a minimum, a mid-band? Yes, it was. We missed it, but it's a mid-band trade. That's definitely a mid-band trade. Let's see if we can get another trade. Let's just watch for it. If we get stopped out, that is. Okay, we're flat. Now, what kind of trade are we looking for? Anybody? Anybody at all see a trade that we'd be looking for? Well, I'd be boxing in myself, like so. Do my region. Oops, that's a bar close, not a region. Sorry about that. Region. Something like that if it breaks, because that's actually what we call a deep bar probe. And I would probably protect some coin just in case it gets higher lows. See, right in through here. And you could always just protect it totally if you wanted to, because it's gone into some chop now. Is that a legitimate short trade? Yes or no? That's what you call a box in short trade. Okay? Now we're feeling a little bit of heat on it. We got a red this deal right here is saying we're not in the profit. Now we are. I put my stop just above that swing. You realize there's trades all the way through here. I drew lines on the chart this morning on this little trade too, because what you do is when they do this retrace like this, you just draw your lines on your chart. And you can still get some good trades. And I'd probably put my stop just above mid-band, just in case they don't take out this swing. And there you go. You got it. All right. Does anybody remember in the room this morning we did this? We had a line drawn. We didn't need a region. We were using, you could use sniper. If this gets up to this line at all, like that, or a phantom trade, you could actually see about shorting it. Let's see what it did. A little on the sideways side, isn't it? Well, that should have fired that. Now, I probably got it going too fast, unfortunately. See where I actually had that right there at that line? That should have fired. But I think probably why it didn't is because it was actually, I'm moving this thing at like 150 times. It's too fast. Now, tomorrow, when everybody sees these phantom trades set up on their charts, what do y'all think? You want to see if you can grab some of these trades that can turn out to be nice monster trades or mid-band trades? You want to see if you can get another one? We got a support level right across here. I'll just fire it if it comes down there. It's got to come to mid-band. Now it would have to come to here. Now it would have to come to here. See it bounce off support. Now that's where we would draw that line right there in the room to take that trade, would be right off that little support level right there. And if it didn't work, it just didn't work. But it did work, didn't it? It absolutely worked. And I would protect my trade more than likely. If this bar doesn't go up, you're more than likely going to get taken out like that. Could you actually box this in at mid-band? Yeah, actually it's already, yeah, too late. Everybody see the box though? Resistance, support. Could you have taken that trade? Anybody? You could have. I got it going too fast, so probably not. All right, so if we were looking for a trade on this chart, just by what I taught tonight, we'd be looking for a phantom trade. It could actually break through it and take it down even. Let's see if it does. See, that actually broke through it, so you never got a phantom long. Now you've got a phantom background, or a short background, that is not looking for longs anymore. Everybody see that? So what trade would you be looking for now? Well, you'd box it in, is what I would be doing personally. Let's just see what it does. There's your box. Above mid-band, we box them long, and we could also box it short if it happens to take out this little swing here to the left. Like so. If it breaks, target would be right up here and here. Let's see if we get that one. Now your safest trade though is a thrust and retrace, right? Now I'd box it again, by the way. Short, long, mid-band. It's like they're trying to break it up. You can clearly see the stair stepping up so far. Well, we're going to have to just fire it because I've Got my region turned off. Maybe. Not yet. Got to break my box. Everybody see why I did that? See the little stair-stepping lightning? Those are higher lows along in there. Now, this was actually a classic example of a phantom that changed the background. Everybody see that? All they did is come down here and kiss the support area down here where they broke up mightily. So this is the way we like to box at mid-bands. Now I'd protect my coin on this little puppy right through there just in case. Everybody see how we take that trade? Now what's the conservative way to take the trade? Anybody? Let's kill it and let's see if we can get the conservative trade. I don't know if we can for sure, but thrust, retrace, thrust. You got to swing right across here. You got to swing right across here. And if it gets anywhere in that little area right there, I would jump into a trade. Now, you had a phantom too, though. But remember, I'm looking at longs now because I'm seeing higher lows and higher highs. Did that phantom work, though? Anybody? It did. So that phantom trade would have worked, but my little long trade's working also. Okay? Why did we look at this, by the way? We're going to talk about this, I think, on a next webinar. See this green stealth right here? And this green stealth right here? That usually means that you're changing trends. Now, it doesn't always mean that, but as a rule, you're going to see this time and time again. See, like right here, for instance, you had a red stealth, and then you had another red stealth, and look what they did. They actually pounded it. Now you had a green stealth and another green stealth, and now they're taking it up. Okay? You're going to see that over and over and over. Look at this over here. Green stealth, green stealth. That one wouldn't have worked. That's the second green stealth, but you would have stopped out just right under here or under mid-band because you would have gotten in there. Then here's another green stealth here, another green stealth, so that's your second one. That one worked. This one worked. But we're not talking about green stealths as much tonight as we're talking about the mid-band type trades and the phantom type trades. If you actually had two charts going, you could have been long here and short here. Did this trade work on the phantom that we teach? It certainly did, because if you shorted line 7, it came all the way down a good 10 ticks. So I take these phantoms pretty seriously. You know, showed them several times on the charts and they flat work. Okay? Now, the only time I'd be careful of them is at any kind of news events coming out, because a lot of times that's when the market's just really like crater. Okay? Anybody have any questions on what we've talked about so far? Anybody at all? Todd, on your question, how do you decide to box it in or take it the first up bar, mid-band trade, etc.? Well, I like to draw on my charts, as you know, in the room all the time, and see where we drew on this chart 2 lines, see where it came down to my second line. When they haven't checked a swing, they'll check that swing. And if they had broken this swing, they would have checked this one. See there? See how they thrust up, they pull back? They're going to check one of these swings, or both. And that's what I do, is I draw on the charts. So I had it drawn right here, and that's where they checked it. Yeah, if you look to the left to trade the right, you're going to see where to draw on your charts all the time, because this trade right here was no baloney. We actually had this drawn in the room live right here because it had broken down. We had our boxes drawn and everything, you know, where obviously you could get short if you wanted, but we missed the short. But we did get this trade that came right back to here and nailed my line exactly in the room this morning. Everybody should remember that because it was exactly there. And then it came back and tested it, unfortunately, but then it really broke down. Monster trade down. And then guess what? You got a decent monster trade up. So if you were trading this, what would you be looking for next on your trade? Anybody? You want to just see real quick if it works? I don't know if I've got all that data or not, but we've got a green midband. So let's just kill the trade and let's just see if we can nail another one. Green midband, what are we looking for? Anybody? Let's just see real quick. That was a monster, by the way. That was a minimum criteria type trade. Let's see. Now our phantom's way up here. Our stop would be right here at line 0. See if we get anything. I've got it going too fast probably to fire it, but I'm going to see if it gets there. Now, where's your phantom? It's right up here. Stop would be line 0. Stop would be line 0. Phantom would be right here. Let's see if I can nail it. That's a line 1 trade. My stop's at line 0. Do I need to say more? See how line 0 held? Now I got that going pretty fast, so that was a pretty fast and furious trade. Now you're actually heading down again. So obviously you would have taken coin at midband, but we got this going way too fast. Everybody see that? Pretty cool. Now where would you be looking for a trade? Anybody? Anybody at all? Well, look to the left to trade the right. You just had one, by the way, at a predictor. Let's see if we can get another one. Minimum criteria trade setting up at all? This thing's really heading down. There was your minimum criteria trade. Anybody? 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 Nope, didn't get it. See, because it went up instead. And this is close to 11 o'clock. Let's see if this phantom actually works here. Did this phantom work? Absolutely it worked. See there? Line 7. What was the color of the midband? Color of the midband was short. Phantom trade, 20 ticks at least. So how about those? They work. I'm here to tell you. And if we can automate that trade, you can count on the fact that that's going to be a good trade. Okay? We got 2 more minutes. I'm running a little bit late, but let's just see if we can get another one. This may change. Green. So where's your phantom trade? Anybody? Stop at line 0. Trade between these 2 points right here. Let's fast forward and see if it works at all, or if we even get that trade. It may head up before we get it. Maybe not. Maybe so. If phantom moves up, we'll move our box. Phantom moved up. I couldn't get that fast enough. I wanted it right there at line 2. Now that wouldn't normally be going that fast, obviously, but see where that came down to that phantom? Now I had this going 500 times, so to be fair, I would have nailed that trade. See there? 500 times. So we didn't get that trade, but hey, you can clearly see that it hit exactly into the box and definitely was a trade. Okay? Any final questions on that one? By the way, that did roll off of line 6. Could you have taken that trade? Anybody? We teach that trade too. You could take it. What do you think about that one right there? That was another phantom trade, by the way. How many of you would have taken this trade normally? Line 7 to midband. That's a 20-tick trade. That's a phantom trade. Did it turn into a long trade? It did. So your trade is where on the chart now? Well, same place, right? And that's what you're going to be starting to look for. Okay? Start to look for those trades. Where's our trade? Where's our stop? See if it does one more phantom trade. Not yet. Bingo. Bingo. See the phantom trade? If you would have fired that trade right when the bar went back up, see, this bar didn't actually pop up. This one did, though. To be fair about it, it still didn't take your stop out. Line 0 will not be taken out on a pullback unless they're in a mood to take it even lower. And if they do, they do. They just take you out. Okay? Phantom trade after phantom trade worked. Was that a legitimate phantom trade? Yes or no? Yellow midband. Yes. That's a legitimate phantom trade. So could you have taken that trade? Yes. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And try a little bit of it in sim as far as that goes, if you want. And keep in mind that there's other trades on this chart. You don't have to wait for a phantom trade to come to you. There's all kinds of other trades. This is a midband trade right here. See where that came down to support right there? Could you have boxed that? Absolutely you could. Could you have drawn a trend line across here? Absolutely you could. See what I mean? There's trades all over the place. But tonight was mostly about phantoms, minimum criteria trades, and the conditions that they have to meet. Okay? Thanks everybody for coming, and we're going to do this tomorrow again. Good night, everyone. Sorry I ran it about 12 minutes late. Good night.